back to Rocky Mountain Prepper. I'm Bellum. Today we are continuing our journey through the Bible in our Strong Foundation series. I encourage all of you to read along. Do not just take what I am reading and read it yourself. I urge you strongly to read along. We are in Genesis 26. That would be in Hebrew, Bereshit 26. And there was a scarcity of food in the land, besides the first scarcity of food, which was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, sovereign of Philistines in Gerar. And Yahweh appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Mitzrayim. Live in the land which I have commanded you. Sojourn in this land, and I shall be with you and bless you. For I give all these lands to you and your seed. And you shall establish the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. And I shall increase your seed like the stars of heaven, or of the heavens. And I shall give all these lands to your seed. And in your seed all nations of the earth shall be blessed. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and guarded my charge, my commands, my laws, and my Torah teachings." And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And when the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." Here we go again. Back to what Abraham did. These people just don't learn from each other. He said, "She is my sister." For he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," thinking lest the men of this place should kill me for Rebekah, because she is good looking. And it came to be, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, sovereign of the Philistines, looked through a window, and he watched and saw Isaac playing with Rebekah, his wife. Okay, this is not just normal. This is not like kids playing around. If you've ever seen a married couple that's madly in love, how they interact with each other, how they playfully do things, that's what he was seeing. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, "See, truly she is your wife. How could you say, 'She is my sister'?" And Isaac said to him, "Because I said, lest I die on account of her." And Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of my people had almost lain with your wife. You would have brought guilt on us." And Abimelech commanded all his people, saying, "Whoever touches this man or his wife shall certainly be put to death." And Isaac sowed in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And Yahweh blessed him. And the man grew great, and went forward until he became very great. He became exceedingly wealthy, more so than his father Abraham. So we also know that Abraham had the money to have 312 hired servants that were very good soldiers. That doesn't take that doesn't take uh, a few sheep. That takes a lot of money. And he came to have possessions of flocks and possessions of herds, and a great body of servants, and the Philistines envied him. And the Philistines had stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and filled them with dirt. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." So Isaac went from there and pitched his tent in the Wadi Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he called them by the names which his father had called them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the wadi and found a well of running water there, the herdsmen of Gerar strove with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." And he called the name of the well Essex, because they strove with him. And they dug another well, and they strove over that one too, and he called its name Sitneth. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not strive over it, and he called its name Rehoboth, and said, "For now Yahweh has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." And from there he went up to Beersheba, and Yahweh appeared to him in the same night, and said, "I am the Elohim of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you, and shall bless you, and increase your seed for my servant Abraham's sake." And he built a slaughter place there, and called on the name of Yahweh. And he pitched his tent there, and the servants of Isaac dug a well there. Now, some translations put that instead of slaughter place, put it as an altar. It's the same thing. Slaughter place and an altar, they're the same things, because you sacrifice on the altars by slaughtering the animals. It's just a minor translation difference between different versions. Okay. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Asmeth, one of his friends, and Pekol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to him, "Why have you come to see me? See, you have hated me, and have sent me away from you." But he said, "We have certainly seen that Yahweh is with you." And we said, "Please, let there be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you do no evil to us, as we have not touched you, and as we have done only good toward you, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed by Yahweh." And he made for them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning, and swore an oath with one another. And Isaac let them go, and they departed from his place. from him in peace. And on the same day it came to be that the servants of Isaac came and informed him that the well which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." So he called it Shibeth, before the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took as wives Judith, the daughter of Beer the Hittite, and Basmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And there were bitterness of spirit to Isaac and Rebekah. Daughters-in-law didn't like the in-laws. How odd. Happens all the time nowadays. "27. And it came to be, when Isaac was old and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau his elder son, and said to him, 'My son.' And he answered him, 'Here I am.' And he said, 'See now, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt wild game for me, and make me a tasty dish such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die.' And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt wild game, and to bring it. And Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, 'See, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, Bring me wild game, and make me a tasty dish to eat, and bless you in the presence of Yahweh before my death. And now, my son, listen to my voice, according to what I command you. Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish from them, for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father. He shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death.' And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, 'See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be like a deceiver in his eyes, and shall bring a curse on myself, and not a blessing.' But his mother said to him, 'Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go. Get them for me.' And when he fetched them and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a tasty dish such as his father loved, and Rebekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were there with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the young goats on his hands and on the smooth parts of his neck. When she gave the tasty dish and the bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you said to me. Please rise, sit, and eat of my wild game, so that your being might bless me. And Isaac said to his son, How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yahweh, your Elohim, brought it to me. Then Isaac said to Jacob, Please come near, so that I feel you, my son, whether you truly are my son Esau or not. And Jacob went near to Isaac, his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands, and he blessed him. And he said, Are you truly my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you. So he brought it near to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said to him, Please come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is like the smell of the field which Yahweh has blessed. And Elohim gave you the dew of the heavens, of the flatness of the earth, and the plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those who curse you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. And it came to be, as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had finally left the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And he too had made a tasty dish, and brought it to his father, and said, said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that you might bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. Then Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, Who is it then who hunted the wild game and brought it to me? And I ate all of it before you came. And I have blessed him. Yes, he is blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me too, O father. And he said, "Your brother came with deceit and took your blessing." And Esau said, "Was his name then called Jacob? For for he has caught me by the heel these 2 times. He took my birthright, and see, now he has taken my blessing." And he said, "I have not reserved a blessing for, or have you not reserved a blessing for me?" Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, "See, I have made him your master, and all his brothers have given to him as servants, and I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then shall I do for you, my son?" And Esau said to his father, "Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, oh my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, "See, your dwelling is of the flatness of the earth, and the dew of the heavens from above. And by your sword you are to live, and serve your brother. And it shall be when you grow restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck." And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father draw near, then I am going to kill my brother Jacob." And the words of Esau, her older son, were reported to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, "See, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice, and rise and flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And you shall send and bring you. I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved of both in one day?" Now, what she's talking about is looking back to Noah after the flood, when God said, "If man takes the life of a man, his life shall be taken." That's what she's just talking about. If Esau kills his brother, then Esau has to be killed for the good of the whole community. And she doesn't want to lose both of her sons, so she's sending him away. And Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Heth, like those who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me?" 28. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and commanded him, and said to him, "Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take a wife for yourself from there, from the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you." and make you fruitful and increase you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples. And give you the blessing of Abraham to you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojournings, which Elohim gave to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padam Aram, to Laban, son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. And Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padam Aram to take himself a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he gave him command, saying, "Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan." And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother, and had gone to Paddan Aram. So Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Isaac. And Esau went to Ishmael and took Meleth, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife, besides the wives he had. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he came upon a place and stopped over for the night, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones and placed it at his head, and he laid down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and saw a ladder set up on the earth, and its top reached to the heavens. And he saw messengers of Elohim going up and coming down on it. And see, Yahweh stood above it, and said, "I am Yahweh, Elohim of Abraham your father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land on which you are lying I give to you and to your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall break forth to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south, and all the clans of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your seed. And see, I am with you, and shall guard you wherever you go. I shall bring you back to this land, for I am not going to leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you." So that's a pretty famous vision there that a lot of pastors touch on. Jacob seeing the stairway to heaven in some translations, ladder in others. Some have commented that the ladder itself represents Jesus. I don't know. I wasn't there seeing it. I'm not up in heaven debating these things with God himself. I think it's a wonderful vision of God taking care of us. And we also see here that God extends the blessing he had given to Abraham and to Isaac all the way down to Jacob. And it should be comforting to all of us to know that God keeps all of his promises. And this whole book is showing that he is keeping these promises. All right, let's keep going. And Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, "Truly, Yahweh is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of Elohim, and it is the gate of the heavens." And Jacob rose early in the morning and took the stone that he had put at his head, set it up as a standing column, and poured oil on top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel. However, the name of that city had been Luz previously. And Jacob made a vow, saying, "See, Elohim is with me, and has kept me in his way, and I am going, and has kept me in his way that I am going, and has given me bread to eat and a garment to put on. When I have returned to my father's house in peace, and Yahweh has been my Elohim, then this stone which I have set as a standing column shall be Elohim's house. And of all that you give me, I shall certainly give a tenth to you." I honestly think that's a pretty good statement of faith. He's saying that he's recognizing God has been with him, and he's recognizing that he owes God for it, and he willingly is giving up a tenth of everything he makes to the Lord. Well, that's all that we're going to work on today. I hope you enjoyed reading along with me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day, and God bless.